I'll be using this video to explain how to find the formatting rules that you'll be needing for paper 3. So I'm going to show you first kind of how to track that document down in case you don't have a paper copy with you. And you can find it on Blackboard. And I'm finding it here. I went to course documents and then unit 3. And if I go to April 30th, this handout was given out in class on April 30th, so you can find it there. And you are going to be able to find it in this document called Paper 3 Final Details. It's going to be the final page. This document called Formatting Rules is actually a document that just explains kind of some of the parameters that you need to keep in mind as you're formatting, but it's not going to be the actual document that we're going to be using. So that's where you can find it in Blackboard. You can find it also in the Living Reader if you go to the table of contents, and you'll notice that all the items that are highlighted in this light red color are from Unit 3, and it's going to be this document right here, formatting rules per section. You can go to that part of the reader, and here is that same document. I think it's also going to be helpful if you note that you will need the Purdue OWL's APA sample paper, which is linked here. It's also linked in the Living Reader, and I think also, I'm going to scroll through and find that. It's linked in the Living Reader right here. And then let's see, I'm going to check this one more time. And it's also linked as well on the document. So if you're downloading it, you have 3 different ways. Actually, I think another different way. It's also linked in the slideshow. So you have a bunch of different ways to get linked to this document that you're going to be using to learn from. So let's go ahead, and I have this downloaded as a Microsoft document, and you can already see that you have a couple of the rules already figured out. So the title page content, you can see that you need to use the center alignment, no indentation, capitalization, and emphasis. And if you're not sure about what these terms mean, what I encourage you to do is use the Living Reader to or the document that is available, the formatting rules document, and use that document to better understand what these terms mean. I'm going to open it up. It's in the horizontal reader, the supplement, which contains the documents that are in landscape view as opposed to portrait view. So I'm going to show that. So if you're not sure what alignment means and these descriptions don't give you all the information that you want, I encourage you to Google it. I've included links. I think these are all Wikipedia articles, which I know they tell you don't cite Wikipedia in class, but I think it is a good place to get general information, and you can learn about the topics more in depth here if the explanations that I've given don't make sense. So you can, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to spend much time on this, but I am going to point this to you. So if you don't know what alignment, indentation, capitalization, and emphasis mean, which I use throughout this document, if you're not sure what those mean, spend some time trying to understand what they mean and how you can use those in your writing. So we've got the first 2 done. So the title page content, I just want to point out on the document where I got that information. So we're using this sample paper, and we can see that the blue boxes contain directions. So what I see here is that the title should be centered on the page, typed in 12-point Times New Roman font. It should not be bolded, underlined, or italicized. So we can see that it's centered, there's no indents, there's no emphasis, and the case. So that's another thing that you want to think about, is that you should be using the title case. You can see that there are the different uppercase and most of the letters are upper, or most of the words have uppercase letters as opposed to lowercase letters. So that's why we have the center alignment, no indentation, title case, and no emphasis, no bold, no quotes, anything. And it's going to be the same for the titles. And let's go ahead and look at what I mean by the titles, because that's going to be in the starting on page 3. So the title of the page is centered and not bolded. So there's where I got that information from, that direction. And one thing to think about is that when you are centering something, you want to make sure that there isn't an indent. You don't have indentation so that it is truly centered. So that's where I got that information from to make the titles. So the titles are going to be the paper title after the title page. So here is the paper title. So you're going to include that in your paper. And then the references. So you're going to include the word references on your reference page. That's going to be the title of your reference page. And also Appendix A. And that's going to be where you put your survey. So those things are going to be the titles, and I'm going to see if I can find that information. So here's references, and then here's Appendix A. So you can see that those all have the same type of formatting. One thing I want to point out is that this sample paper contains an abstract. We're not worrying about that. Don't include an abstract in your paper. Make sure you skip that, but you are going to follow the formatting guidelines otherwise. So now we've seen where these things are done. So we got that information. It was already available in this document, but I just wanted to show you where I got that information so that when you're filling the rest of this out, you have the ability to use that and make sure that you can figure out the information yourself. So here we have paragraph writing. Let's go back and look at that sample paper. So I'm gonna, you can look and read some of these points, but you also know that it looks like we can look and see the alignment is going to be left aligned. It's not right, center, or justified. There's an indent, and so let's go ahead and add that information. We've got the alignment is going to be left aligned, and then we've got the indentation, and that is going to be, let me see, first line. So I'm just going to look back real quick. One thing that's nice about the document that I've included is that you just have to look at, these are all the words you're going to use for the different answers. So if you're not sure what these mean, what you should do is you should go back, read these Wikipedia links and get some more information, or just Google it yourself. Another option is going and checking with the Writing Center, and they can guide you through these steps. So we've got this first line indentation, and then I've filled out and I've said that the capitalization you use is sentence case and then no emphasis. But there are going to be some exceptions for the capitalization and the emphasis when you have in-text citations. And it's going to be like that with, proper nouns and stuff like that. So make sure that you're being careful when you do have those in-text citations. Next, let's go ahead and look at the section titles, which is going to be what they call a level 1 title. In your paper, the IMRD paper, it's going to be what you use to set apart and highlight the introduction section, the methods section, the results section, and the discussion section. So let's look for a level 1 title. And we're going to go back to that sample paper, and let's see, I'm going to try looking level 1. So here we've got a level 1 heading, and what here we have in blue the directions. So what you should put is So we've got our directions, so centered. So let's go back and put the alignment. The alignment is center. Indentation, so again, because it's not left alignment, we're just going to put none. Capitalization. So here we've got, and we can see that it says title case. So that's the capitalization, title case, and then we see that we should use bolded. So we've got the emphasis we're going to use is bold. All right, so we know how to do the title, the level 1 title, or level 1 heading, as they say. So we've got that information. Let's go and find level 2 title or heading, which you're going to use in your methods section, or in the methods section. You have 3 different parts of the methods section that you can give these titles to, where you're going to have survey or design of instrument or something similar to that, participants, and procedure. You don't have to use these words exactly, but these are going to be good. These are perfectly fine or something similar. So let's go ahead and look at this same document. And here, right on the same page, we've got a level 2 heading, which should be flush with the left margin. So that means left alignment, no indentation. Bolded and title case. So we've got our information that we need. It's similar to the level 1 heading, but it's going to be left aligned with no indentation. So left, none, capitalization, title case, and then emphasis is bold. All right, so we're done with that. And then let's go ahead and we're going to do the references. So we're not thinking about the title, we're just thinking about the references as you're listing them, that content that you're listing. So we're going to have some special rules for how we capitalize and emphasize each part, but one thing that we need to, that's going to be the same for every entry in your in that references page is going to be the alignment and indentation. So let's go ahead and check out the references page. And oh, here it is. And we can see that you started on a new page, center the title references. So we do know that. We've already established that because that was a title. And alphabetize the entries. Do not underline or italicize the title. Double space all entries. Every source mentioned in the paper should have an entry. All right, so this doesn't actually mention what the alignment is, but I can tell you that the alignment, because it has this, the first line lines up, it's left aligned, but the first line lines up with the margin. But what you have here is this space on the second and third lines. That's hanging indentation. So what that means is the alignment is left aligned and the indentation is hanging. So we're done with the majority of the paper with the formatting rules. So I'm going to end this video right now, and I'm going to use subsequent videos to talk about the formatting for citing sources. Both in-text citations and in the references, so that you can kind of see the differences between these, and then also comparing within in-text citations the difference between quotes and then also summaries and paraphrases. So I hope you have a good understanding of how to do the majority of the formatting in your paper, and what's left is going to be those citations for your sources. Good luck with formatting.